The Kingmaker's Game. Chanakya Chronicles, Part 2.
In the quiet villages of ancient India, daily life didn't move by the clock. It moved by myth, ritual, and a deep reverence for tradition. But young Vishnugupta, the boy history would later remember as Chanakya, spent his days buried in complex ancient texts while his peers played in the streets. His guru instilled a very specific philosophy in him. Absolutely nothing happens without a logical cause. Every single event, no matter how mysterious it seems, has a reason that can be uncovered. In a world that often turned to the supernatural to explain the unknown, Chanakya's mind functioned as a system of pure, uncompromising logic. That logic was tested when a supposed ghost began haunting the village chief's house. To handle the crisis, the chief brought in a traveling magician to perform a public exorcism. The setup was designed for maximum impact. As the villagers watched in terror, the magician stood over a large, glowing fire pit, chanting incantations into the night. Suddenly, a blazing fireball erupts from the embers and scurries rapidly down the dark dirt path, terrifying the onlookers. The magician declared the ghost had been driven out. Yet, within days, similar hauntings appeared in neighboring houses, creating a cycle of paid exorcisms that the villagers were desperate to fund. Chanakya noticed a specific pattern. The terror and the supernatural events had only started the moment the magician arrived in town. While his neighbors searched for spiritual protection, Chanakya began looking for the physical motive behind the magician's perfect timing. To find it, Chanakya set up a midnight stakeout, hiding in a mango tree overlooking the sleeping magician's courtyard. His patience was rewarded when the village chief's servant arrived in the dead of night, quietly handing the magician a tightly woven basket. Once they were gone, Chanakya shimmied down and peeked inside the basket. It was full of live, squirming lizards. He then examined the magician's ritual tools, specifically taking note of hollow bamboo reeds bundled with torches. This schematic shows the mechanism he deduced. A live lizard is hidden inside a hollow bamboo tube. When the magician ignites an oil-soaked rag on its tail, the terrified animal bolts out, appearing to an observer exactly like a moving fireball. Chanakya had successfully reduced a supernatural haunting to a simple interaction between biology, tools, and fire. Armed with the evidence, Chanakya took his findings to his guru, and together they formulated a plan to dismantle the deception. The very next day, the village gathered for another exorcism. The magician took his place, preparing to light the torch and release his ghost. But before the fire was struck, the guru stepped onto the ritual stage, ignored the magician's protests, and untied the bamboo bundle. A terrified lizard with an oily rag tied to its tail scurried out into the broad daylight, right in front of the entire crowd. By exposing the physical mechanism of the trick in the sun, the magician's hold over the village collapsed instantly. The fallout was immediate. The villagers turned on the charlatan, while the guru publicly credited young Chanakya for the discovery. But Chanakya saw a deeper layer. He privately told his guru that the village chief must have orchestrated the scam to profit from the community's fear. His guru gave him a warning: do not publicly accuse the powerful chief yet. Truth alone isn't enough to survive against those who hold authority. Chanakya realized that while logic could solve a puzzle, strategy was required to survive the solution. He understood that knowing when to hold the truth is as important as finding it. The guru saw that a boy with such an innate grasp of both physical mechanics and human motives had outgrown their small village. He sent Chanakya to Taxila, the ancient world's center for advanced learning, where logic was applied to the highest levels of governance. In Taxila, he spent years refining his investigative rigor, applying it to economics, law, and the complex machinery of the state. The same habit of stripping away the ghost to find the human mechanism would eventually help him dismantle the Nanda dynasty and consolidate power across the subcontinent as the architect of the Mauryan Empire.
True wisdom is not found in the accumulation of knowledge, but in the understanding of the self. Observe the mind as you observe the world.
Subscribe to The Kingmaker's Game to uncover what history hides.